My name is Kristen Binford, and I have owned a successful high volume wedding venue for over 10 years now. And I have been blessed to serve as a business coach to hundreds of wedding venue owners across North America. I have a topic today. Really, today's topic is designed for established venue owners. Sometimes I talk to new venue owners with my videos, sometimes prospective, sometimes established. So today's video is really for you if you've been in the business for 5+ years. If you haven't yet, you're obviously welcome to stick around and watch on whatever online platform you're watching with us today. But this video is really for you if you've been in the business for 5+ years. So speaking of watching across our platforms, if you watch this video the first time it's debuted, go ahead and comment #live in the comments. And if you catch it later, go ahead and comment #replay. Now, today we're going to be talking about the fact that we've just seen some changes in 2024. So obviously we're post kind of engagement season, the engagement season usual bump at this time of the year, and engagement season felt a little bit different for some established venue owners. I know we've been hearing that quite a bit when we've been talking to venue owners on deep dive discovery calls. And so if you're here and you're feeling like, what's different? Something's changed. This year felt different. Is it just competition? Is it inflation? It's an election year. You're right. There's a lot of things going on in the marketplace right now. And there's a lot of challenges. I'm not going to say that there's not, but there's always a way to win. I don't mean to say this boastfully, but I'm just saying this because it's our honest truth. We had the best January we've ever had for January bookings in 2024. We actually booked more than 20 weddings in the month of January. So are couples still booking weddings? Yes. Is it harder than it used to be? Yes. Like two things can be true. So one of the things I just want to talk a little bit about kind of the why behind it. And I'm sure there'll be some good comments here in the comments with your perspective on why. There are some macro things happening in the marketplace. Like I said, it's an election year. We've seen hyperinflation. Consumer confidence is obviously feeling a little bit wobbly. So for many consumers. So there are some macro things going on. There's also things going on certainly in all of our individual local markets. You might be in a market that has had jobs more affected. You might be in a market that has had more new competitors open this year, right? We're all dealing with market change. And I want to remind you that that can be hard. I'm not going to tell you it's not, but change creates opportunity. Change creates opportunity. That is a core belief that I have. And change creates opportunity, the best opportunity for the people who are actively looking for it. Also, I've got some notes over here, guys, if I'm looking over here off the screen. But, some people have said what's happening right now is still kind of layover from COVID. Meaning kind of the engagement gap we saw play out all of last year. We saw that, folks think that really impacted engagement season this year. I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm sure there's still some COVID related elements hanging on, but I definitely am not in the belief that we can hang everything on this being a COVID gap year and next year is going to be back to normal. I could definitely be wrong. This is just my perspective as a venue owner. And I love economics and I love the marketplace and I love paying attention to what's changing. So that's part of the reason I wanted to come to you in this video today. Some folks say that 2025 is going to be a banner year. It's going to be a huge year for engagements. We've seen a little bit of that in terms of kind of articles, industry talk, et cetera. Possibly. I mean, we could definitely see that come back and be a bit of a boom year next year. I think gone are the days that it's super easy to book weddings. I don't think we're going to be going back to, when we opened in this business 10 years ago, my most direct competitor had a older style barn with a gravel floor inside of it. That was our direct competitor. Now our most direct competitors have spent $3 to $5 million building venues. The market's just changed a lot, and we're not going to be going back to the old days. Even if we do see a boom of 2025 engagements, some of that's going to impact 2026, potentially not 2025. So we've got the next couple of years here at least to be looking at if, best case scenario, we see a boom for 2025. Some of that may not impact 2025 as much as it does 2026. And what I hear and what I see from so many of our established clients, established venue owner clients, is that you're kind of probably in one of two places in your business. You're either busy working in the business, meaning you're cleaning the toilets and you're doing the tours and you're answering the phone and you're writing the contracts and you're mowing the grass. You're working in the business and you're busy doing that. Or we've seen more of this lately, that you've worked yourself out of the business, which there's a lot to celebrate in that, right? A lot of venue owners don't get to that place, but that you've worked yourself out of the business. But what that's kind of created is a disconnect between you and what's happening in the marketplace, because perhaps you have had or have a venue manager or a salesperson or a sales team that are kind of in between you and what's happening in the marketplace. So if either of those things sound like you, or if any of this so far sounds like you, I just encourage you to stay tuned for a few more minutes. We're going to talk about some kind of places to look in your business and actions to take where I believe there's more opportunity that lies. So I would really encourage established venue owners. I hear it a lot, like, oh yeah, we know all of our competitors. We've been at this a long time. We know everything that's out there. I would really challenge that belief. Number one, even if you feel like you are the expert in your market, I would challenge that belief. The market has changed a lot. New competitors have opened. We've seen more venues discounting. We have seen more venues adding accommodations. We've seen more venues, like there's just a lot of stuff that is changing. So my invitation to you in this video today is, like, if you haven't recently, like last 3 months, taken a deep dive into your competitive set, there's opportunity that lies there. Because unless you know firmly and clearly who and why you're competing against other venues in your market and why other couples are choosing those other venues instead of yours, you're leaving opportunity on the table. This is one of the things we coaching clients through. And so often our established venue owner coaching clients are like, oh, Kristen, I thought I knew all this, but I didn't realize I didn't know what I didn't know, or I haven't taken the time, or I haven't had the energy to really stop and evaluate the marketplace as it stands today, not 3 months ago, not 12 months ago, not 5+ years ago when you started, but as it stands today. If you haven't, there's opportunity in that, my friend. Number two, I would really encourage you as an established venue owner to step back and think about who is the best fit couple for my space? Who is the ideal client for my space? Not just who do I want? Who is the couple I want to attract? That's part of it. But who is the couple we are the best suited to serve? And how does that couple potentially look different on a Friday or a Sunday versus a Saturday, or an off prime Saturday versus a prime Saturday? Okay. Couples, when we started in this business, all of you established venue owners, if you were a pretty place, you could book weddings. 5 years ago, it was a lot easier. For anybody who's been following me on videos for a long time, back in 2019, I was saying, hey, y'all, this might be our last best year ever in the industry. I had no idea 2020 was coming. Obviously, no one did. And then we saw the bubble of 2021 into 2022. I am really grateful to say right now, 2023 is on track to be our best year ever. We have 109 weddings booked right now at our venue. But it is, like I said, it has gotten harder for that to be possible. So I really encourage you, if you haven't, step back and take a look at who is the best right fit couple for my venue, not just what I want, but for our venue, what we have to offer. How does that look different on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? And then who is that couple? What do they need? Am I filling those needs as clearly as possible? As clearly as possible. If you're not, I would argue that you're very likely leaving opportunity on the table, because like I said, it used to be easy to book weddings. All you had to do was be a pretty place. So many of the folks who have booked weddings with us in the last couple, or not booked weddings, booked calls with our team in the last couple of months have been like, it used to be easy. I didn't really have to do anything. Now I need a strategy. Now I need to do something, but I don't know what that is. So if you're feeling like that, you're not alone. But It's not enough to just be present to it. You've got to take different action. Okay. Another note that I just had here to share is, realize as an established venue owner, more opportunity is not going to come from one thing. So often we hear like, oh, there's just this one thing. If I just knew how to answer this email better, if this one ad would just convert better, if my salesperson would just sell better, if I just had a paved parking lot, if I just upgraded my bridal suite, like they feel like there's just this one thing. There's not one thing. If you asked me, how do you have 170-ish weddings booked right now, Kristen? It's because we've created our own methodology to squeezing more opportunity out of 100 different steps in the process. So letting go of the need for that one thing and stepping back and realizing, like, how do I get every point in the process to be 1 or 2 or 3 degrees better? That's where more opportunity comes from, in my experience in this business. So kind of adding more things. So looking for one thing, to me, is a waste of energy. Number 2, adding more things to your business: bridal suite, paved parking lot, a new photo spot, an outdoor patio. Those things are very likely not going to be a game changer in your business. So unless you just have extra cash flow to pay for it, if you do, great. You're probably not watching this video. But adding things is very rarely a game changer. Now, we've had plenty of past coaching clients, make changes, modifications, upgrades to their venue. But ideally, I would love to see that come from cash flow, not have to come from debt. Or ideally, that still means you're paying yourself as a venue owner. You're not taking money out of your pocket so you can add the new fancy thing to keep up with the neighbor next door. So here's my invitation to you today: be an action taker. I think for so many established venue owners, there's been the luxury of like this business. The client side maybe wasn't easy, but the booking side was easy. It was easy to grow for a long time. A lot of established venue owners have been kind of in the defense mode in terms of keeping the total number of bookings that they have on the calendar. But I think we're seeing more established venue owners now get into the place that they're not even getting to the place that they used to get. And that just means you're going to have to take new actions in the business. Waiting around and seeing if the 2025 engagement season is great, or waiting around to see if like the couples who toured you the last few weeks booked, like all of that is just costing you valuable time in your business. And for your business and my business, the most expensive expense is the dates we don't book. So my invitation to you is be an action taker. Step back, take a look at your marketplace. Step back, look at your ideal client. What do you need? Are you serving them as well as you could be? Step back, look at your pricing in the marketplace. Look at what's changed in the marketplace. Now, if you're saying, Kristen, that's great, but I don't want to waste my time doing all this, will you please just help me? Teach us your methodology, bring us into your network, help us understand how you squeeze more opportunity out of every step in the process. I welcome you to book a call on our team's calendar. The Venue Accelerator is an intensive 8-week coaching engagement. I'll tell you, it's by invitation only. So we have to hop on the phone to see where you're at, what you want, what are the gaps, what are the opportunities. Do we think we can help you? If not, we'll gladly refer you out. We do that quite a bit on these calls because we sometimes feel like another service provider or another coach or another consultant might be a better fit. So I promise you, we really do have your best interest at heart. But if you're like, Kristen, I don't want to waste time, and I've heard a lot of good things over the years, I haven't booked a call, here's my invitation to do so. Because again, I want to see you taking action, and booking a call with our team and having that important discussion is an important action to take, again, whether we're the best fit to serve you or not. Our team calendar does tend to book a week or 2 out in advance, and we do ask that all venue owners join the conversation. So if you're going to book a call, the link is kristenbinford.com/accelerator, kristenbinford.com/accelerator. And we do ask that, protect that time, plan for an hour, bring the other owners into the conversation. It's going to be an important conversation where we're going to dive deep. And if you want to see more information about the Venue Accelerator, more client feedback, you can also go to KristenBinford.com/the-venue-accelerator. We'll probably put that in the comments below. All right, my friends. Here's my invitation to you. The market is changing. It has changed. We're not going to go back to the way things used to be years ago. So if you're an established venue owner, my invitation to you is to be an action taker in your business. And we'll